Welcome back to the 1090 podcast. I'm here with Brittainy Moala.
Yes. Yep. You said it perfect.
I'm glad I said that right. Your Instagram is Brittainy Quinn, though.
Right. That's my middle name.
My daughter, Frankie, that was her middle name.
Really?
Quinn.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love that.
Synchronicities. Aww. You are married to my friend Fatu.
Yes.
You're lucky. Fatu.
Yeah.
Fatu's great. I haven't talked to Fatu since the 5th grade, maybe, but he's well, you would know better than me.
Right.
You're married to him, but he's fierce but gentle.
Right.
Yeah, like he's wise.
Oh, what is he? Hey, I don't know. I'm not gonna. Hey.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
Fatu! I tried.
I tried. I mean, you knew him at his peak. We talked about his peak. So yeah, he was probably wise back then.
Really good athlete, man.
He
could hoop. I think, was he better at football or basketball, you think?
Oh, football.
Football?
Yeah, I mean, he probably wants to say basketball, like church ball.
I just never really saw him play football. I saw him play basketball all the time, but
I mean, yeah. I'd say he's better at football, but he thinks he's better at basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah, he plays with my daughter's principal. And he comes home like feeling so good. I'm like, he is 60. Like, hello.
It's like, do you watch Seinfeld at all?
Oh yeah.
It's like when Kramer is doing karate, but it's against all the kids.
Yeah.
And then like Elaine just loses confidence. Like, why am I listening to Kramer?
But yeah, he plays football at recess with the kids.
Man.
Like, so he still gets it in and like feels good about himself.
So is he a teacher then?
No. No, he's just the dad that comes and literally plays recess. Like, can you imagine the kids going home like, yeah, some dad was playing with me.
That's hilarious.
He
just swatting everyone.
Literally.
Them. Give me that.
He got so mad because one kid was talking crap and he came home and he's like, he said he was better than me. Well, I'm like, oh, relax.
Man, maybe he's not so zen like I remember. Like maybe he does get fired up. But.
Yeah, maybe more now. Yeah.
So you guys were training athletes? Like that was your main job for a while?
So in 2020, we quit like our college careers and decided to become fitness trainers. Fatu had a background in training athletes. I had none, but we were like, yeah, let's just do it. And then COVID hit. And we were like, we gave up everything, and no one was training. Like,
literally the worst time in the history to do something like that.
So we started like in January, and I had built up a little clientele, and he had some too. We had to move into my parents' basement. Like we knew we were going to do that at least. But then, March hit, no one trained.
Dang.
So he was like hopping fences, training like kids, getting kicked out of places. And then I switched to online, and it was such a blessing because no one could go anywhere. So I had no clue what I was doing, but had a lot of clientele because everyone was at home.
Needed something to do.
Yeah, so it worked out, but yeah. So we did that, started 2020, and then moved to Idaho, ran a gym out there, and then opened our own.
Did you play any sports growing up?
Yeah, but I mean, I went to Kearns. I think anyone could play. Like you could just be on the team. So I did track.
Just day one of tryouts. Like, okay, here's your uniforms.
They had multiple tryouts.
Yeah.
Because they needed people. No, Kearns was great, but yeah. So no, I wouldn't say I was an athlete at all.
Yeah. Top 3 greatest athletes ever, according to you. What do you think?
Brittainy Moala.
Oh, way to make up for it. Like, that was smart. That was
Oh, you know who I really love? I'm not going to say her name right. Iona Mayer. She's like the rugby player, her, and Michael Jordan.
Oh, good answer.
Yeah.
MJ's the go.
You know, I don't know.
So you guys met in high school? You and Fatu?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Met in high school. I'm his only girlfriend ever.
That's how me and Courtney were.
Really?
Yeah, like met when we were 15. Like that was it.
What? Did you know? Like, were you like, I'm marrying her?
Yeah, I think senior year. I was like when you start thinking like, well, what am I doing after high school?
Yeah.
Like, well, I just want to be with Courtney after high school type of thing. I don't know if that's how you guys were, but
Well, I think that's how I felt. Fatu was like, I'm going to college. And I was like, you're marrying me. I think I asked him 3 times to marry
You
me.
asked him?
I asked him. How embarrassing, right?
No, I don't think it's embarrassing. I like it.
Oh, yeah. I asked him 3 times. And one time he like made me a ring out of a $1 bill and was like, I'm not ready, but one day this will be made of diamonds. And look, I still don't. Where's the ring, Fatu? Yeah, like we've been married for how? I know he should have came. He needed to like be able to speak for himself. No, yeah. So I asked him a lot.
Yeah.
And then we got married. But did you ask her?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah. So I even served an LDS mission. She waited for me, came home, got married. She actually had our wedding anniversary set before I was home for my mission. So I had like 3 months left on my mission and I had a wedding date set.
Dang.
So I was that type of mission.
So you got home.
Yeah. So
I love that.
yeah, so you guys get married and you have kids right away, or is that the plan?
Oh, yep. Had kids before we got married. Yep. But we're already you know. Well, we were together for what, like 6 years before we got married?
I mean,
you know. So I'm glad it wasn't sooner.
Yeah,
but,
if you're a parent and you have a teenager that has a
Right.
steady boyfriend or girlfriend and you don't think they're messing around, you are delusional.
Right. And that's why he's like no boyfriends to my daughters. But
Oh, wow. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
for sure. So no, we got married, had kids right away.
Wait, hold on. I've got to get.
Yeah,
I mean,
oh.
So you guys just surprise pregnancy?
Yeah. So got engaged. So okay, asked him to marry.
No, you got pregnant first. Come on, be honest. You got pregnant.
No.
So really?
I am we should have been pregnant and like you said.
Okay.
Very young. Hi, Fatu's family. Sorry. But yeah, no, we actually got engaged for real, but we were broken up. So yeah,
What?
I know. What? Okay, he wouldn't marry me, right?
So you're mad.
Mad. I was like, we're done.
We're done then. But
Done.
we're also engaged.
No, broke up. And then dating. Like I was just out dating. And then he came to my house in the middle of the night one night with no ring, nothing, and was like, marry me. Like, I'm sorry.
This is like this is like from a movie. This is like from a rom-com. This is
Right.
This is like he's only missing a radio above his head.
If he
That's
had
the
that,
only thing he
it would've
needs.
been sold. Like, yes. No. So he was like, please marry me. I'm so sorry. And I had a date the next day with like this kid that I was like, we never dated, me and him.
Yeah.
And I was like, if you don't have a ring, it's not real. And he went to Walmart. It was like middle of the night. He waited for the lady to open the jewelry counter, bought me like a $20 ring, came home, and I was like, okay.
And you got married.
And
Or you got engaged.
Got engaged, then pregnant.
No. Well, you celebrated that night and then you got pregnant.
And got pregnant. And then
Well, how old are you guys?
he was 20.
Just young pups.
Yeah. And I was almost 21, I think. Or I was 21. Yeah. And then he didn't tell his parents because we're LDS.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like throwing up at my wedding in a bowl, like pretending I wasn't
You're
pregnant.
pregnant and nervous.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. So that was our rom-com story.
When they hear this podcast, is this the first time they're gonna hear this?
Probably. They're like, I thought she was super premature. No. Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. And you have beautiful kids, beautiful
Thanks.
daughters. So your first kid was who?
Ella. Ella's the first. She's 12. Then we have Shia, 10. And then Revie is 2. And she, as you can see, there's an age gap.
Yeah.
So she was our little surprise.
Yeah, I asked you before the podcast if you were having any more kids, and you made the no you gave me was like 100%. And I'm sure after Rev, like you're like, yeah, we're done.
100% no.
So Rev wraps up the and she was a surprise.
And surprise. Yep. Wraps up the family. Surprise. Surprise in all the ways. But we thought we maybe were having a boy. As you said, you played sports with Fatu. So he was very excited if it was a boy, but girl. And she came in with a vengeance. So
yeah, should we start there, like with her birth?
yeah.
Because pre-birth, like during your pregnancy, there wasn't any scares or bad news. It was just smooth sailing, right?
Yeah. So I got really sick with my other 2. pregnancies. I don't know about Courtney, like if she got sick.
No, Courtney had the easiest
Oh,
pregnancies. Like she
good.
enjoyed. She even made a comment once. She's like, "I can't wait to be pregnant again." Like she loved. Like liked it. She's weird, but she had really rough deliveries.
Oh,
Like
okay.
really scary. Blue was. That's why Frankie was a C-section.
Oh,
Blue was such a struggle. They're like, "Hey, if you guys have another kid, probably do a C-section."
okay.
But that was kind of how Courtney operated. Her pregnancies were usually pretty easy though.
Good. Yeah. Well, and hard deliveries. So I feel like that's how it goes.
Yeah.
I had easy deliveries, which was good. But so I had hard pregnancies. Only we were like, yeah, we're just going to be done with 2. Had Rev. No, it was my easiest pregnancy. I was able to work out the whole time. We had the gym during that time. And so we had just opened our business that we had like worked for years to try to get to, and then found out I was pregnant. And we were nervous because we both were bringing in like income for the gym, but I was like, it's fine. It's just a baby. We're going to be fine.
Yeah.
And then on the day of delivery, no clue, had her. And like, I didn't even see her face. Like she just was coming out, and I saw her back, and my whole body, like everything inside of me was like, something's wrong. Like I knew. And it was so weird because like your deliveries, if they were hard though, ours were always easy. And so, right, they like put the baby on your chest, everyone's smiling. And so I was so confused that nobody else thought something was wrong. They laid her on my chest. I remember looking at Fatu's face, and he's just like smiling. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? Like something is wrong with our baby. Yeah. But I was scared to say it because I felt weird for thinking that something was wrong. And so it took a lot of courage even to be like, what's wrong with her? Like I said that. And everyone looked at me weird and grabbed her and like rushed to the back of the room. And I looked at Fatu, and I remember thinking, okay, I'll be fine. I just have to, like, I can be fine for whatever they tell me. And then they brought her back to me like a few seconds later, and they're like, nothing is wrong with your baby. And that's like the only thing I didn't prepare to hear. And that's when my whole world spiraled.
You were ready for the bad news. Like, I can take it, give it to me.
Yep.
And the minute they said nothing's wrong with your baby, you just knew they were wrong, or was that comforting?
No, it was because like as a mother, you know, you don't want anything to be wrong, but it was so weird because my whole body was like, no, something's wrong. I knew, but I didn't have enough. I don't know. I just trusted them. I'm like, well, they know better. Like my doctor's telling me nothing's wrong. We got the pediatrician in. He said nothing's wrong. I even was brave enough to be like, no, let's get a different pediatrician. Got another one. He said nothing was wrong. And so at that point, I'm like, okay, I am crazy, you know? And she was small.
You're just the mom that does workout. You don't know anything. What? You just gave birth. You're on an epidural maybe. Like they're not listening to you.
Right. Nope. But I did not hold her, which there was a lot of guilt with this, but I didn't hold her the whole first day. So I had her, and Fatu took care of her the whole night. I was so just like in my head, I was like honestly trying to figure out what is wrong with me. Like, is this postpartum depression? I thought I have had that before, but maybe this is it, and I don't know. Like I'm having her older. Like I was in my 30s when I had her. So like all the things are going through my head, but like I'm religious, and I could just tell. Like I knew. Like God was like, you're going to have to fight for her. But I was not ready to fight. I didn't even know how.
Yeah, you didn't even know like what the fight looks like. What are we fighting?
Right.
Like you just knew there was something wrong, but you didn't know how many things were going to be wrong, and the future that was going to unfold for you guys.
No clue.
And you made just scrolling through your Instagram, and you made a post about what you just said about you just delivered Rev, and yeah, just what you said barely, but isn't it so weird that just saying what's on your mind and heart feels so brave sometimes, because like no one, and sometimes it's so obvious, like it's just the elephant in the room, but it's still never spoken of. Like people just won't say it because they're terrified of being wrong, looking like an idiot, causing people to worry and do things, because that's what's going to happen if something's wrong with her. Like, so
Yep.
you don't want to be the weak link. And I just think that's so weird, like that we built a society, like a culture together as human beings, that we make, that's how we make each other feel.
Right.
I just think it's so weird.
It is.
And we're talking about a newborn baby. Like, we're not talking about like Taco Bell #3. Like, this is the most important stuff. And that's just crazy, man. The things people do to avoid talking about it. And I think, man, I think one thing for me is if you say there's something wrong with your baby, then it's reality. Now you have to face it.
Right.
Instead of just living in this blissful ignorance or denial, which you could have done, like, oh, they said nothing's wrong, so nothing's wrong.
Yeah.
That's so easy to do. So yeah, I think that's a really cool, I think it shows you who you are and who Fatu is. And I don't know if the doctor would have kept telling me everything's fine and I would have got 2 other doctors and they said everything was fine, I probably would have felt like, yeah, maybe I am crazy as well. So where'd you go from there?
Yeah.
Feeling crazy.
Well, so Fatu never made me feel like I was wrong. He was never like, nothing's wrong with her. He was like, if you think there is, like, there is.
Yeah.
But I think too, like commenting off what you said, you're in like the medical world too, where it almost sounds like they speak a different language, unless you're like well versed in it. So it's like, I don't even know what they're saying.
Which I hate. Like, you don't sound smart.
Right.
You sound dumb. Like, if you were truly smart, you would use terminology that I can understand and work with. Mm-hmm. Like, you're being rude.
Yeah.
That's not, like, seriously, like, I don't.
For sure. And that was like my first experience with that. Cause like Ellen and Shy are typical kids. Maybe we go to the doctors to get like their shots, and then that's it. Like never go unless we have to. But yeah, they sent us home and so she was 4 pounds. So she was small, which that's what everyone like clung to as to why I thought something was wrong.
Small.
Yeah, she's just small. We knew she was going to be small. It's okay. And then, but my mom, thank goodness for like grandma's moms, she was like, something is wrong. Like 100%. I know. And I even called her like in delivery, like right after, and I was crying on the phone. I'm like, something's wrong, but no one thinks there is. And so she was kind of my strength. And then honestly, I've never felt mother's intuition. Like I have 2 other kids. No clue. Like but this was so powerful. Like I can't even explain, but I knew something was wrong and I just needed someone to listen to me. And so I was at the doctor's office at least like 3 times a week. And part of it is she was small, so we had to go. But other than that, I'd make an appointment. I would beg, like, please, can I see a specialist? Like something's wrong. And it would just be like, well, we'll just wait and see. It'll either get better or worse. And it's like, why?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a battle and we saw tons of specialists. They all told me nothing was wrong. And I saw my OB at 6 weeks and she made me feel like this big and yet validated. Like I wanted to hear what she said, but I brought my Revie in at 6 weeks. No one believed me. And I was like, please, like, me, like something's wrong with Revie. And she was like, you are spiraling. And I'm telling you this because like I care about you and you are spiraling. You need therapy. This is postpartum depression. You need medication. And she pointed to the room next door and she's like, there's a mom in there that actually has something wrong with her baby. And she would do anything to have your baby. So I felt dumb.
Wow.
I felt like relieved, like it's just me. Like I really
part of you kind of liked it, like okay,
yes.
Like I'll take the criticism if my kid's okay.
Yep.
Like, deal.
Yep.
Yeah, but then part of you's like, yeah.
Can
I read? This is another post you made. I liked it. Things that have been said to pacify me when advocating for Revie. Can I read through these real
Yeah.
quick? You mentioned some, but number 1, well, if we do that, she won't look at you when she wakes up and she's blind.
Right.
So, like, what are you talking about?
For sure.
She won't eat her favorite foods or calm when you give her a cookie. She has a feeding tube.
Yep. Doesn't
So again,
eat.
like, what are you talking about? 3, she'll just need to wear a mask.
That one was hilarious.
She'll just need to wear a mask. Number 4, it would be so rare if she has that. And it turns out that she had it.
Yeah, she's one of one.
A diagnosis won't make a difference. And I like your comment here. And you say, well, for Revie, it's sometimes the only way people will listen, which I think that's a good point. Number 6, it will either get better or worse, and then we'll know. And then your comment is Revie is suffering during this whole waiting game. So thanks. And number 7, isn't 4Q the syndrome they don't live past 2? There might not be much we can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I think I thought once we got a diagnosis, so like we didn't find anything out about Revie until 2 months old. And that was constant advocating, like trying to ask for help. And I think old Brittainy thought, once I have a diagnosis, like we're going to be fine, you know? And we got all these diagnoses that she was technically blind. She has a genetic disorder called fever, which causes blindness. And then her 4Q syndrome. She has cerebral palsy, epilepsy. She's G-tube fed, like all these things. I was like, oh, people will help us now. And no, it is almost even a harder battle because like that one comment, well, they don't live very long anyway. It's like, why would we do all these interventions? This is the natural progression of the disease. Like if Revie's in pain, oh yeah, it's just how it will be for kids like this. It's like, no, they're not dying, because they're in pain, something's wrong with their eye, they're not eating, whatever. They're dying because of inaction. They're dying because no one's believing them. And that's what technically, like those 2 months of no one helping Revie, she was failure to thrive. She lost weight. She had like crazy levels of jaundice. Like there was so many things that little baby needed that everyone just like pushes off. And then of course today, right? Like if you saw, like my whole family's doing like ICU level care on our living room floor, despite all these diagnoses that Revie has, despite how much I advocate and really the medical system with medically complex kids, it's just to cycle them through, and not every doctor, but it's just not built for them. And so how do these kids get the help that they need, especially if they can't talk, especially if no one believes the mom, the parent? How do these kids get help?
Yeah, I think it's a good question. And how do you you made another post that you said, when my kids were healthy, I thought the system worked. Like I didn't really even think about it because my kids were healthy. But then the minute I had a sick kid, I quickly learned like, oh, like this sucks actually. And I feel like everyone talks about like, we gotta change the medical field system thing, whatever. Like great, like let's do it. You being from your specific situation, what like how do we realistically go about making changes?
We're on it.
Like, do we have to like make signs and march picket somewhere, or do we like get people to sign a paper? Like what realistically? It's such like
right.
Like where do you like? It's such a. I think that's why it's not changing. Is people who want to change it are like, where do we start fighting this thing?
It's such a big mountain. Like when you look at it,
it is.
It's so big, but it's like we just have to take like one step at a time, And I think so where we're at right now. So a picket still might be in the future. So everyone
I'm game.
get your signs ready.
I've never done one. I'd like to be a part of at least one.
Really though, we might. So we have like another meeting with the president of the hospital and the chief medical officer, and we are going in to propose like a new protocol or something different to shake up the system for these medically complex kids. And that feels like such a win to even get that. And I think part of that is we caught the attention of like legislature. Like they saw the video, and thank goodness Doug cares about, what is happening to our kids. And if Primary Children's it serves 6 states. So we don't really have anywhere else we're going. This is the top children's hospital within 6 states. And Revie's lost an eye at that hospital. Revie had an incurable or antibiotic resistant like infection for months, despite like me advocating. And then now her seizures, there was intervention that we could have done all the way back in December. And she's had 18 admissions since December for seizures with no meaningful change, no meaningful care. And all of the things that she has got is parent driven. Like I'm advocating, I'm figuring it out.
So like the minute, okay, you finally get a diagnosis and like, so walk me through it. You like, okay, she's diagnosed with epilepsy, she's having seizures, all these issues, blindness. And they just told you like what was their communication like back to you when
yeah, it was, she's one of one and we can't give you any prognosis on her, but we'll be here to help.
So she's an outlier. She's one of one, never seen anything like it. We don't know how to treat it.
Yep. And there's other kids with 4Q, but they're all different. They manifest differently. And like kids with complex needs, they all are different. Even if you have like a diagnosis to walk down, your kid might have, different manifestations that others don't. And so I had one doctor, he did tell me, he said, our greatest asset is your intuition. Like if you think something's wrong, something's wrong. And that was so validating to hear.
A doctor said that to you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Which was so validating. But the part that's so hard in the medical system, unless, like you said, right, if we have a healthy kid, we go in, we see our primary care provider, our pediatrician, we leave, or if there's, they're super sick, maybe we make one visit, like a hospital admission, and we go home. But when you live in the system, there's no continuity of care. So you're seeing a different doctor all the time. There's not just like you do have like your outside providers, but if you're in the hospital, you defer to whoever's in the hospital. And so I'm meeting John for the first time and he knows nothing about Revie. And she's one of one. And he wants to treat her like protocol. Well, she never fits protocol. I need you to listen to me. This is what happened. And when you come into that visit, they treat it as an isolated incident. So it's like, this is our first visit, not the 18 admissions that Revie had before, right? All relating to the same problem. They don't connect patterns. Parents do. So they're coming in, they're like, oh, she looks stable. She hasn't seized for 24 hours. We're probably good. It's like, no.
Like I'm moving on to room 202 now. Like, no, no, stay here.
Yes. And you're just so tired, like as a medically complex parent, like, right? Like we had our own business and it's like, we could not maintain it. We had to get rid of, like, sell it piece by piece because we had to come to Utah to be closer to care. I was basically living here while my family lived there. I could not sustain a job because I'm just pretty much keeping Revie alive every day. Like, and you don't have the help the way that you think, especially kids that are outliers. So if we want like home nursing, we have to prove like, oh, we need it because of this and this and this. And it's like, well, they don't know about a sleep disorder. Revie has a sleep disorder.
Is that part of the reason why you made those video clips? Like show them like, this is our daily routine at our house.
Yep. But they still like, it's one, if you can get them to watch it. Two, if they can really like soak it in.
Do you think an issue with your story is like you are the problem to them, because
Yes.
I think a lot of moms and parents just listen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not an expert. Okay. I think there's so many stories like that, not to like pick on parents or anything, but like, yeah, I think your backbone and your, that feeling you had when you first delivered Rev, you were very confident in that. And I don't know, I think you're a big part of the problem is you're not going with the flow. You're like, no, there's something wrong and you need to do better and look better. And that's causing problems for them. So I do think that,
Yeah.
just sitting here and listening to this, I think that's part of the issue is you're a fighter and you're a really good mom. And
Thanks.
that doesn't mean, I'm not trying to bash other moms, but yeah, I got caught up in that a lot in my life. Like I just wouldn't stand up for myself enough.
Right.
And I'm glad I'm not like that anymore, but I could see me totally just, well, the doctor said that, like, I don't know. So I think it's cool. I think really brave, deserve a lot of credit. So well, let's backtrack. Like, so if you could go back in time, what would you tell these doctors, nurses, like, to step one to now, like, what's best case scenario for you and your family? What would you want them to do that's realistic for them to make everything better, like in your perfect world?
Right. So I think like you, Mason, like not being able to stand up for yourself plays a big role into it. But I think the one thing that I told when we were sitting with the president of the hospital, I was like, it's not her diagnosis that has been hard. It's not even the amount of times we've been at the hospital. It's the fact that no one believes me. If someone would have believed me from the very beginning, just believed where they were like, okay, let's look.
Man, like that's so crazy.
Like, it's it.
That's the whole thing with my podcast. It's the whole thing me and Ryan are trying to do is like, there's nothing we can do to fix them, but if we can just let them be heard, just listen. Like seriously, like that's all these people need sometimes. But when you put your heart out there and it goes like unheard, oh, like that'll rip your heart out.
That's probably me.
Sorry, you can go grab it. Hopefully it's fought to you. I thought it was me for a sec.
Nope, just being the worst. Yeah. I think the hardest part too is what was told to me a lot. So I believe, right? You know your kids better than anyone.
Yeah.
And you want to believe that, you feel that, but then you go to this place where they question you. Well, like this is normal.
And I do think like let's jump to the doctor's side for a little bit. Like, okay, they do probably deal with a lot of moms who are wrong.
Right.
Who don't know what they're talking about, who are postpartum. That might be, I don't know what the percentage is. I literally have no idea. But I do think they'd probably deal with that a lot. And so now we're kind of asking them to be detectives. Like, okay, now you got to decipher which mom is telling the truth and which isn't. Because I don't know if we're trying to step in their shoes, they have a lot of patience. They have a lot of people they're trying to get to. So I understand it. But I guess just listen to every mom like they're telling the truth until you absolutely, like, how do we,
right?
Like, if we're talking to doctors and we want them to change, what's a realistic thing they can do to change? I'm just trying to think.
Well, so for me, right, it's like our hospital slogan is the child first and always. And so there's so many things for Revie that would have changed her trajectory of her life, that would have given her months back to already a life that is short.
It saved her eye.
Saved her eye.
Like,
well,
she lost her eye because she wasn't getting help, right?
Right.
Like if she got good help, she'd have both eyes.
100%.
But I think from their fucked up perspective, she's blind anyway. So what, like,
No, it's true. It's true. They will say that. And like, well, she was going to lose it anyway, but it's like, could have been maybe 5 years from now.
Doctor, here's a surprise for you. We're all going to die. Actually, you, me, we're all going to die. So why are we treating anyone?
Yep.
Why is there anyone in here?
Right.
We're all going to die.
So why,
Fucking idiot. God.
And I feel bad because I feel like I'm not trying to get people to like hate doctors or hate the hospital or
Courtney
hate.
was a nurse. So like,
Okay.
I'm trying to, nurses
Right.
are great.
Nurses
Recording was a good one.
and RNs are amazing because they are with the kid by bedside. And so that's what one thing we can do is we put the child first and we do the test. We just do the test. Like, it's not even the doctor that has to do the test. I don't know if this is like an insurance issue. I don't know if it's a resource issue.
I mean, the big problem with the whole medical thing is money. Like, that's the big thing. And we haven't even that. And I don't want the discussion to be about that. I want it to be more about Rev and your story. But no, absolutely 100%. Money is a big part of the whole thing.
Right. Well, it's like, so most of these kids like Revie, right? So we had 18 admissions since December. So, and Revie's on her own insurance. It's like, it's a waiver. Like, a lot of kids that have these disorders are on something like this, which is wonderful. But what's happening is, so like taxpayer dollars are paying for this. Revie had an intervention available to her on admission 1, admission 2, 3. It's like, why can't that be solved on admission 7 instead of all the way to 18? And again, I had to fight for it. We might be at admission 30. And so it's like, we're blowing through taxpayers' dollars. These kids could get meaningful, coordinated care much earlier, extend their life, and they don't have to suffer. They are suffering. That's the part that's like the hardest part about this is and I don't know, there's so many things that need to be cleaned up that would actually benefit people. It would benefit Medicaid, who's paying for these waivers that these kids are on. It would benefit the hospital even. It would give them resources back. These prolonged admissions are expensive, but at the same time, is it that, are these the real questions? Is it that the hospitals don't care that they're getting, 18, 30 admissions because they're benefiting off of it? Like, I don't know. Is it really that everyone's just so busy that no one can put A, B, and C together, but parents who are the constant in the care can? And so I think what I could tell doctors, or what would start to change the system, is just look. Like, just look. And if it's not there, we can cross that stone off.
I think, again, I don't want to take us down a big side path here, but AI, usually just terrified of it. Like, I'm pretty sure that's how the world's going to end.
Pretty sure.
But I'm also, or it might be the way that saves it. I think AI could help with this, like just speeding up this communication process.
The reason I've been able to get anywhere is ChatGPT and me. It sounds so dumb, but I will screenshot every single thing I can't read it, right? Diagnostic testing report. I don't know what they say.
Yeah.
And so I think too, because ChatGPT, it's not going to be it's not systemic. It will actually focus on the kid. You plug in a few things. It's not biased. They don't have to believe. If I come in, maybe they're like, this mom's been here multiple times. Oh, the kid is medically complex. Why are we even trying? Kind of thing. I think AI.
They don't know your race. They don't know your social. They don't know it.
AI has diagnosed Revie almost perfectly every single time. Truly. It really has.
And for me, even if they mess up the diagnosis, but they could speed up the steps. Sorry. But they could speed this long process of finally getting a diagnosis. I just think it would speed that whole thing up. Instead of what takes months to communicate with these doctors, it would take 10 seconds.
It would.
And I think that, just listening to your story, I think that's where it could. I don't know how good AI is. I don't know if it's good enough to just correctly diagnose everything yet.
Right.
Maybe it will get there one day. But I think it can just speed up that whole communication process.
Yeah.
Make it much quicker. And maybe save Rev's eye, or
for sure,
save lives, or whatever it is.
It totally would do that. But it's even then, if parents could just be as treated as say you take your child in and their heart rate super high, they're going to be like, oh, clinically this is showing something, we should treat it. But when a parent comes in and I'm like, hey, Revie's really tight, so she doesn't talk, right? So her tone tells me if she's in pain, if she's relaxed. Like any of us, if we were in pain, we would tighten up. I'm like, she's super tight, she's super tense, she's in pain. Written off. Well, how do you know she's in pain? Well, look, she's really tight. Well, I mean, does she always do that? Like, well, she's not crying. She's not really showing like she's in pain. Yes, this is how Revie communicates. Like, it's already different. And so her eye, she suffered for months with a detached retina. Like, and I think as a parent, when you know your kid is suffering, you're watching your kid deteriorate in front of you, like, there's nothing more motivating. Like, you will go to war. Or, though, the other side of things is like, why is all this put on parents? Like, me and Fatu live in a dining room, my parents' dining room. Like, that's our bedroom. We built a business that completely crumbled. We lost everything. We have struggled in our marriage. I don't even get to see my other two girls. Like, I have not seen them slept at home more than maybe 2 times since March. And it's like, you do get tired and you do just like give up and kind of like succumb to like whatever the system is telling you is possible, because how can you even fight? Like, we're so grateful we have a community. Our community gave us $64,000 in December. Like, what? That's life changing.
Yeah, what do you mean community? Like your friends, like nonprofit?
Our friends, like
Wow.
on social media, like I've shared Rev's journey ever since she was born. And I was open with like, I think something's wrong and I need help. And that was scary because like, what if nothing was wrong? And everyone's like, okay, weirdo, you know? And even to this day, like her eye, I'm like, oh, they're telling me nothing's wrong, but something is. And I was open about it. I'm like, something's wrong with her eye. I know it. And the outcomes like speak for themselves every single time. It's like every single thing that I thought happened. And that's so many moms, so many parents that we are just acting like is not even important information. It's not a high heart rate. It's not a lab test. It's just as important. We're with our kids every day, you know? We know when something is wrong.
Yeah, it should be viewed as an ally. Like, this should be the number one person we should be talking to and asking questions, instead of, I went to med school, so I know your kid. You uproot your whole life because of this. You have to move back, like you said. You're living in the kitchen or dining, whatever.
Yeah.
And you have 2 other girls. I was going to ask you about this. How are you able to be a mom to them when you're moving, you're posting, you're communicating, you're going to war for one of your kids? And I'm sure part of them knows that and is with you. Like, yeah, like, let's do it. And your daughters are so great taking care of Rev. Like, they're so cute with her. But they're kids. And so I'm sure part of them needs attention and love from mom and dad as well. So how do you balance all of that?
I think truly me and Fatu had to like change our entire priorities. Like, we had the oldest had to really die. And I think stuff that we thought meant success, you know, we chased dreams. That was like our thing. It was like,
The perspective shift.
yes. And so now, like, yeah, I sleep in a dining room and my bedroom looks like a college dorm room. And I'm like, oh, and my girls, like, we don't go on trips and we have been saving Revie's life for 3 years pretty much. But one of us, like Fatu, like, for throwing him under the bus all before, but like, he's such a good dad. Like, something like, it's fun to him to go be with his kids. And we don't like, he used to care about shoes and we used to care about what people thought, you know, like clothes, weight. I was a trainer. I don't even work out anymore. Like,
You gotta get that extra small size.
Yeah, like everything that we thought mattered.
Does it have an eco boost? Does your truck have eco boost? Like, who the fuck cares? Like,
Right.
what?
Right. And it was hard. It's been hard. I mean, but I know that any moment we get with our kids, it just means so much more, and they know it. Like, I went to their dance competition. They've had 100 dance competitions in their life. They used to, but I went to it. I had to leave the hospital and go, and my kids were like, thank you so much for coming, Mom. And like, you know, maybe before they would have been like, I want this sweater. Why didn't you bring me roses? Whatever. They're just like so thankful that I'm in the audience. And that sucks as a mom because you're like, why wouldn't I go to that? But they know why I wouldn't. Because I'm at the hospital with Revie and they see the sacrifice in it. And so there's nothing that I would change on this. Like even before when you're, like this perfect world, I think we are in the position that we are in the sense to keep fighting, because I don't think that this for a lack of parents fighting. It's we've had people hold us up. Like that money, we've been able to be in the hospital every single day and documenting and talking to the right people and learning and understanding because we had funds.
Yeah.
My parents take care of my daughters. Like people don't have that. What about single moms in there that are young? And they're like, what do they do? And this changes your whole life. Like I don't go home at night mad about the doctors, like at the doctors that lost Revie's eye. I'm mad at myself because I'm like, I knew I should have fought harder. I should have done this. And it's like, there's so many parents going home with the guilt that they shouldn't have to.
I love that so much because I think when bad things happen, we like to think that we learn something from them. Makes us feel better, And like that's just it. Like everything you said, like you're not doing anything different. Like if you had 3 healthy kids, you'd probably be at the same dance recital. Like
Yep.
same thing. So it's not like you're having different conversations or you're doing different activities. It's the same stuff, but like the meaning and the appreciation and the gratitude makes it completely different.
Yeah.
And that's one of, I guess, the beauties or gifts of all the horrible, terrible stuff is you get to feel that. But yeah, that's I'm sorry. That's not good. And thanks for fighting.
Yeah.
You and Fatu now, your relationship.
I'm a home. So we were high school sweethearts, as you know that. And I think it was like everything about that person. And it's not that we didn't go through anything hard. We were entrepreneurs and lived in a lot of rooms even before this, trying to build our dream. But we've never watched each other lose everything. Like we've never had to do that.
Like you guys going through the fire together.
Yeah. And it's been so hard. Like this is the hardest year ever of our marriage, ever. And like we've spent a lot of time just as partners. Like we are partners in this. And I know he has my back, but are we lovers? Are we husband and wife? I don't even know.
Are we best friends?
Yeah. Like I don't even know what that means sometimes, but like the conversations we've had in the hospital cafeteria or just walking around the hospital, like every day we're like, what is our life? I'm like, I don't even know. I'm like, if we could go back to when we were 16 and be like, this is our life, we'd both be like, peace, good luck. Like, I wish the best. Like we would have never chose this, but it is the most beautiful love that I've ever had with him. And I've had a lot of love with him,
Yeah.
But
watching your own kid have seizures, lose an eye, watching your other kids watch it, like what does that do to someone? Like how does oof.
I think what we're taught with our like medically complex kids too, this is like the thing that I want to change is we're taught to accept, and we have to. You have to accept. Like my 10-year-old, she accepts that she does have to go get the pulse ox. Her sister could die in front of her. We accept, but having to do that so many times on the living room floor and knowing that this could be your daughter's like last breath. This is where she could die in front of my 12-year-old. And maybe my 12-year-old will blame herself because she thinks she didn't get the rescue meds fast enough or something, right? And a part of you wants to blame them because you're like,
well, part of you blames for losing her eye.
Right.
You even know it doesn't make sense, but you still, yeah.
Yeah. And it almost feels normal. Like what it does to you. You just feel like this is our life. This is what it is. Like,
And I was thinking about that. I was thinking that literally the other day. I'm like, I've been in this so long. I kind of forget how awful it is.
right.
Because when I tell people my story for the first time and
Yeah.
I see it on their face, it's like a reminder, like, oh yeah, like it's pretty bad, huh? But like you're in it so long, you forget. Like, can you even imagine a life with 3 healthy kids?
No.
Probably you can't even. You don't know. You probably hate it at this point. You probably like this is so easy. Like
This is so
just
easy.
making fights to have
I was gonna
problems.
say, I
like,
make my
let's
own
just have
problems.
problems.
How do you though? Because right, like that's what when you're in it, you're surviving. You can't even think about building. You're just surviving. But how do you get to this point? Because the thing that I want to like shift for people in this life with medically complex kids is like we can ask for more. We can demand more. We can demand better for our kids and better for our life. And it might look totally different, right? It's not going to be the mansion I once thought or whatever, but we don't have to just survive. But how do you do that when you're in it? Like, how did you do that?
No, I still think I think I'm still kind of in survival mode and just trying to process it still. It is hard. Some days are harder than others. But I think I'm still kind of surviving it. The things that have helped me is kind of what you talked about is just being heard. Like if I can just be heard. Because the other question I'm having, sorry, this shifted out. How did you make this? Why am I talking all of a sudden?
Hey.
But like, now I forgot what I was gonna say. What'd you ask me? What was your
Like
original
how
question?
when you were saying, what does it do to somebody when you live? How do you not just survive?
Yeah, so I think talking about it, feeling heard, and then there's just something weird. Like, honestly, it's acceptance. Like that's the magic word. But like when I accept it, then I feel awful and terrible, and I feel guilt and shame and all those things. But then I'm also by just acknowledging it and talking about it and letting those parts of me feel heard, I'm also able to find the happy guy and the guy that wants to change the world and help people and the guy that wants to be a good dad to Blue. And like those parts are there. But for some reason, if I only try to do the happy parts, oh God, like those other parts of me are going to get pissed off. They're going to ruin my life in other ways if I don't let them see the sun or talk or just to be heard. And so that's something that I'm learning is working on acceptance and just letting these different emotions fizzle out, hopefully one day. But the amount of anger and the amount of sadness, the amount of confusion that's daily for me. And then there's just layers of like, I miss them. Like I just miss them. And part of my brain is just stuck on the weeks before the accident of how good we had it. Sometimes I'm thinking of future moments we should have had. Sometimes I'm thinking about how awful the moment was being in that car. Sometimes I'm fixated on that. Like, what did they feel? What did they see? Did they die quickly? Did they die slowly? Did they die at the same time? Did they die one by one? Like, so sometimes I'm fixated. So there's just so many. I'm not even in control of my own thoughts.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm in control of my own thoughts. They just enter a vision of Riggins riding a bike or Frankie's dead body. Like I'm not even in control of where these thoughts are even. I'm not even sure where they come from. Sorry, I'm just throwing up on you now. This turned into my therapy session. But I think, I think that's how I'm surviving it is just like, that's my problem is people can't lose. People can't lose. Like, oh, it was the refs, or like if I pulled my hamstring, like we can't accept death. We can't accept loss. Like we always like, well, no, like if we spin it this way, it's good that your family died because there's a plan. Like what?
Right.
Like why are we trying to spin this into something good? Let's just say it's god awful. It's terrible. No one deserves it. And then let's figure out what we want to do about it.
Right.
Like, what are we going to do about it?
Right.
But don't look me in the eye and say it's going to be okay or it's okay or it's meant to happen or your kids are in a better place. Like, save that for someone else.
Yeah.
So I think trying to live in reality and accept it is how I'm surviving. And there's something, you said it was on your Instagram. You said acceptance isn't settling. I love that. And I usually say, okay, the hard part with acceptance is part of you feels like you're giving up.
Yep.
Part of you feels like giving up on my girl, or giving up on my family or my wife, or, part of you just wants to stay in the misery of it. Like, no, like, and so like part of you just feels like acceptance is wrong. And that's a really hard part of it is, how do you manage that? How do you manage that feeling of like, I don't want to give up on my family, like, but I do have to accept that they're gone, like they're not here. And having those two different voices in my head is hard. It causes a lot of anxiety, and it causes me to feel fake a lot, like because I just put on a show, like neither of those thoughts are there, and so then I just feel exhausted, like I've been lying all day. Yeah, it's just it's not good.
But I think in all of this, like this 1090, like in the videos that I watched in the parking lot the other day of you when I'm at the hospital, and I'm like, my life sucks. I miss my kids. Like, am I gonna save Revie? Is all this even gonna make a difference? Is she just gonna die anyway? But then I like see your videos of all the people you've had on and your own story, and it's like seeing somebody that you said living in reality, like, this sucks. And I don't know if I can, like, make this, like you said, like, find this positiveness of, like, oh, I'm so glad this happened. It's like, because it's not, I miss the old me, and I miss all of that. But what am I going to do now? Like, this is my life. What am I going to do with it now? And it's okay that it's sad and it sucks and it's hard. And like when I see you, it gives me hope, and it gives me a deeper meaning that, like, I wouldn't wish this for anyone, any of, these trials. But it's like, if you do get to experience this, I am a better person today than I was a few years ago. I'm a better wife. I'm a better friend. Like, I'm a better mom, even if I'm probably going to be in therapy with my kids in 20 years, and I'll just be like, I know, I'm sorry. Sorry I made you grab the pole socks that one time, but my kids are like amazing. I see like how much they care about people at school that they wouldn't if they didn't have a sister like Revie. I see how more forgiving Fatu and I are of each other that we wouldn't be if we didn't have this. And so I'm thankful that people go through some sucky stuff and allow others to see it, to know that maybe it won't be so sucky. You can still, I don't know.
No, I think, yeah, when you said you had so much support and help, like I had that too.
Yeah.
Like so many, like Courtney's family, my family, friends, community. Yeah, like what a thought that is. Like imagine if we didn't have that, we would be, both of us would be screwed. And then like, if Rev, if the worst if the worst thing did happen to Rev, man, like I'm such a believer in, even if you're going to lose, depending on how you fight matters. And so I don't, even if it does turn into that direction, I wouldn't, there's no way I'd be having those thoughts if I were you. I think I'd have the other thoughts. Like I wish, or you'll probably have those too. Like I should have done more. You're screwed no matter what. Like you just can't escape it. You're screwed.
Do you ever feel this? And I don't know if this is like, because I told this when we were talking with the president. He kept saying, what do you want for Revie? Like, what do you want for her care? How can we help Revie? And it's like, part of me felt like this is so bigger than Revie now. Like, Revie went through all of this stuff, and it's not just for Revie. Like, we can't get her eye back. We can't,
But there's probably a kid being born right now.
Right.
And the mom's like, there's something wrong. And the doctor's like, no,
Yes.
right now.
Right now. And it's like, for me to do, I don't know if I feel it like where you're saying, like, you almost feel like fake sometimes because you're like putting on the show. Like, for me to feel like I wouldn't have to ask, I should have done more, and I will still ask it, when she passes. But it's like, I want to change something. I don't want this to be all for nothing, but like, what if I think that's the scariest part, is like, what if it was all for nothing? But it's not. Like, my family's better, I'm better, but you get lost in I don't know.
Like, she's going to suffer for nothing. Like, if she's going to suffer, like, let's make something good come from something bad.
Yes.
Yeah, like, that's my whole philosophy too.
And I just don't like the acceptance was settling. It's like, I've accepted that Revie's gonna pass. Like, I've played her funeral tons
So I wasn't
times.
aware of this. So she has, what's her life expectancy?
They actually don't. So if you Google it, it is like a lot of Q kids don't live past 2.
And she's
almost 3.
almost 3.
Yeah. So, but there's a lot that
Is it
do.
literally just any day could happen?
Yeah. Like, so with her seizures, they're so life threatening. Like, so she basically codes like every second,
I remember like years ago, we had this girl, Brooke, on, and same thing. Like, they had this child with very serious illness, and he like just check her bed every day. Is she alive? And I'm just like, how do these parents, how do you sleep at night?
Ugh.
How do you try to maintain a job when your kid is a seizure and like this might be it?
Right. Like, so if I go to Walmart now, like, the first thing I do is like, where can I put her when she seizes? Like, where's my stuff? Or at home, you feel guilty if you fall asleep. You're like, oh my gosh, because you literally wake up like, please, 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 please. And then like our 10-year-old will come and wake me up at 3 a.m. Her thing is beeping. Like, it's beeping, Mom. And then it's like, oh, I run in there, And so you just accept it, like it's reality, but at the same time, you don't settle in the sense of, if there's something we can do, why are we not doing it? Yeah. Like, how do I give Revie the best life, even if it's not the longest life or whatever? How do I give her the best of her circuit, that 1090, like, this is what it is, but what are we going to do with it now? How are we going to, make the best of this? And so even just barely, she had like 5 seizures the other day in the hospital, and the nurses are scared. Like, everyone's like, have this, and they have a team that runs in and takes care of Revie when she sees this. I have my 10-year-old sometimes.
But that's all you wanted. That's all you wanted. Mm-hmm. Like, I understand she has seizures and she could die from them. I get that. I'm not asking you to be Superman, but you're paying attention to her. You're there. Yes. You care about her.
Yep.
There's urgency.
Like,
that's all we can control, and that's what you want to see. How has this impacted your relationship with God, or maybe it's made it stronger, or the same, or whatever?
Definitely made it stronger. Was someone who didn't feel worthy of like talking to God, like, right? Got pregnant before marriage, and I'm LDS.
That's why you had a messed up kid, is you got pregnant when you were...
I've actually thought
I know you have.
I'm like, we shouldn't have been having sex in high school. God,
wow,
I knew it would come.
Did Fachi serve a mission? I bet he didn't.
He did not.
He didn't. Yeah. That's why you had a messed up kid.
Dang it. So, I mean, we know now. So,
glad we're on the same page.
So definitely those things have crossed my mind, but I never was one to, I did reach to God, but it was like, do or die. Like, and now I talk to God every day, and there's not a perfect way to open, perfect way to close. Sometimes I'm like saying a prayer and then I just like forget and go on about my day. And I'm like, oh yeah, hey, by the way, I really need help here, but it has made me have a real relationship with God. Not one that looks good on paper, not one that I think I only deserve after
you're getting mad at him. Like, you're having real conversation.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Just on the way this last time. So on May 10th, the hospital actually called, like, it's called Maya's rule. they invoked it, and it means that they believe something is not safe with one of their patients. So one of the nurses like called that for Revie. And that day I always life flight with Revie. I always ambulance with Revie, and I was just done. Like I felt like I gave up because it was like the same thing over and over so I sent Fatu in the ambulance with her, and the whole drive from Logan to Salt Lake, I was screaming at God. Every word you could think of. Like, why did you do this if you're not going to help me? Like, why are we here again? Why is nobody listening to me again? Why did I go through all of that? And it's just like banging on like the steering wheel and just being like, and this sounds horrible, but it's like, if she's going to die, please don't let her keep suffering.
Yeah, like take her.
Yeah, like, why are you doing this, you know? But then, like, I pull up and I walk in the room and Fatu looks, like, hopeful. And he's like, somebody called Maya's rule for her. And it was like, like, it wasn't the thing you want, you know? It's not like, oh, it's fixed. It's just, like, enough to, like, take another step forward.
Yeah.
So, yeah, God and me are real friends now.
You've had your ups and downs.
Yeah.
But, you know.
But yeah, I just think for anyone that watches this, and and this might not resonate with anyone unless they have a special needs kid, and maybe it will if you have any of your kids. But it's like, if you feel something, if you know something, like you talked about at the beginning too, Mason, of like, we don't speak. Like, we don't want to look dumb. We don't want to be wrong. And I felt that every time in the hospital. But you will never regret doing more. Like you will never regret doing the most, you know, for your kid. You will never regret speaking up. You will never regret looking crazy or whatever. And so I just want every person to know, if there's something inside of you, it's there for a reason, no matter what it is. Like, it's there.
Rev is so cute. And you and Fati, both of you. What does she like to do? Tell us a little about her. What's her personality like? I saw that video of her in the sink. And, you know, she has trouble with vision, obviously, but she kind of sees in 2D, I think, or she can see shapes.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yep.
But she's just playing in this water, and I don't know. She's just a cute girl. I just want to hear a little bit about her.
Yeah. Oh, she's so fun. So her favorite pastime just recently is watching Kendrick Lamar halftime.
Oh.
I could do the whole routine right here if you played it. Like, that's how much we watch it. And we always have a rave going on. Like, me and Fatu didn't party growing up, and I'm like, we're about to party here soon with Rev. Like,
I know, I've seen some of your hospital stays even. Like, you guys got like glow sticks out?
Yep.
Yeah, you guys are.
It is literally a party every day. Like, she's always dancing, raving, all types of music. Kendrick Lamar's her jam right now. She loves water. Like, she could live in water. I don't know what it does, but she just like calms down the second she's in it. So she takes like 10 baths a day. And it's totally normal for us. But yeah, she's happy. And that's, like, I think what we're just fighting to, like, keep.
Yeah.
At whatever level that looks like, you know.
Does she sleep good or?
No.
Okay. Bad question, it looks like. Like, that was not good to ask.
Our community, right? Like, sharing Rev's journey on Instagram. Me and Fatu for 2 years, we took turns staying up all night with Revie. Like, she might fall asleep in the day. Maybe she'd fall asleep by 7 a.m.
She's so uncomfortable with pain all the time. Like,
yeah, she has like neurological issues.
Okay.
But for 2 years, the hospital was like, oh, it's because you guys, it's our routine. It's our parenting. It's, you know, or they don't know what to do. And so, yeah, she sleeps now, though. She stayed a month at the PICU, and the nurses there, shout out to nurses, they were like, something is wrong with, like, she won't sleep and we can't feasibly, like, do our job. Like, she needs help. And so they advocated for us, and she's on 3 strong sleep sedatives that, honestly, I'm going to take one day just to see, like, what it does. I want to be out for days.
Want one.
Yeah,
I'll
send them to you. And then we'll just see. We'll see, like, what Revie's.
Hey, that's how you start making some money on the side. You start selling her. No, I'm just joking.
No, really. Yeah, you know. Hey.
Well, how would the communication I love? How else does she communicate to you? Like with her body, but like what else does she do? I just love that. Like a mom and like just finding these ways to communicate with her
Right.
is so cool, I think.
It's so crazy. Like, hey, I don't know if you've seen this podcast or something came out. It's like nonverbal kids are like, I'm gonna say it like telepathic. Like their parent, like it's crazy. This information that's coming out, I'm like, I believe it. Fully believe it. Like how but I don't even know. Like I know what she feels like just by the way she like sits up that day. I'm like, oh, today's gonna be a good day. We're gonna be raving today. Or if I like wake up and go in her room and like just the way she like looks to the right, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be a hard day. But she loves to touch your face. There's no personal space with Rev. None. She touches your face. She's in her mouth, like in your mouth. She's probably a dentist in another life or something. But yeah, she just wants to feel you and like have you feel her.
She a snuggler then?
Yes. Aww. I know. She is. But
Blue's
then
a snuggler.
Really?
Yeah.
How old is Blue?
7.
Oh, yeah.
I know he's actually starting to grow out of it a little.
We'll keep.
But anyway, that's so cute that she's a snuggler.
Yeah.
What are you gonna, if she does pass away, what are you gonna miss most? I know that's a really tough question.
No, I thought about like it's crazy. Like when you're in this, I'd probably miss like she just like forces you to live, like really live. Most of my days are so simple, but it's like I'm so fulfilled with her, And I'd miss that perspective of every day waking up and it's so hard. Meds. Is she sick today? Is she this? But I find like on our walk just with her and she's like flapping and like so excited. It's like, I want that. I'm like, she's so excited just to walk by a horse. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'll miss that. There's like the simplicity of like how beautiful things are, even in the moment of struggle.
Yeah.
She helps you see that. And I'm thankful for that.
She does pass away. I was just thinking about this with Maggie.
Yeah.
And Corey losing Jax. Like part of them, and this is just so scary because I'm just insinuating how people feel about losing dead kids. So,
Well, I mean,
but I'm sure part of them is relieved that they don't have to watch Jax just sit there and suffer. Like part of them has to be relieved. But then I know part of them is going to feel bad that part of them feels that way.
Yes. 100%. You know when someone says something that you just think quietly?
Yeah.
And then someone says it out loud and you're like, oh, you think that too?
So I just have to ask you, like, how do you, or is this just inevitable? You're just going to feel that way?
Mm-hmm.
And we just all know that?
Mm-hmm. We have to know that.
You have to, right? Like,
you have to. Like, I've seen Revie die in front of me more times than I can even, like, count. And every single time there is, like, okay, like, this is going to be the last time she has to suffer. Like, she had a 40-minute seizure in the hospital and they couldn't get her to stop. And she's not breathing that whole time. So they're bagging her the whole time. And so that's a long time to like be like, okay, you're going to pass away. This is going to be it. They're so nervous. They don't know what to do. This is in Logan. And I did feel relief, which sounds so sick.
Yeah.
And I even remember in that moment thinking like, I feel relieved and I hate myself for it. Like in that exact moment. And then also I feel just relieved that she doesn't have to like do this anymore, But also like, please fight, Revie. Like, come on. Yeah, but then mad that you want her to fight. Because what if she doesn't want to fight? And then also mad because you're just like, why'd you go out like this? Like why'd it have to be so long, this one? Like just let her. And then when she makes it, you're like, yes. And then you're like, oh, dang it. Like now you're intubated and we have to do all this. I think you just feel that. You're gonna, like you said, what did you say? Like, there's just parts of you that need it, like the sad parts, the mad parts. I'm gonna feel guilty. I'm gonna feel like I didn't do enough, even if I did everything.
Yeah.
You know, and that will be hard. And maybe that's why it's like you want to try so hard right now, because it's so weird to know that you have a kid that's gonna pass, and it could be right why I'm here. You know, it could be, and you just every day I go to bed like, did I do enough for her? Or every seizure, I'm like, oh, I hope she thinks I did a good job. You know,
Yeah.
but
And I think you're a great mom. You and Fatu do a great job.
yeah, well, thanks, but
Yeah. There's no winning. That's why it's grief. That's why it's just gonna hurt and suck
Yeah.
no matter what. So I'm sorry.
I'm
But I think the way you're handling it is just so, I don't know what else to do other than what you're doing. Like, I think it's so amazing. So
thanks.
before we get to movies, anything else you want to say?
Yeah, just I think right now where we're at is we do have a chance to change things like for these kids, and this is our community. Like, that's our hospital that we go to, and I want every parent to know that the more you speak up, the better things are going to change. Like, the more likely things are going to change for our kids, the more likely you're not going to hate yourself every day. Like,
Yeah.
I want them to speak up, because I didn't speak up a lot of times. And people here, like the nurses will come up in the hospital and like hug me or Fatu or whatever and be like, thank you for saying something that we can't. We can't lose our job.
The people, man, we have all the power.
Yeah. So I just want to say that is like, it feels such a big mountain, but the thing that you can do and you can control is you can speak up and you can say, no, like, nope, I'm not like, I can accept that this is like my kid's circumstances, but I'm not going to settle. We're going to turn over that other stone. We're going to turn that one over too. And so that's just what I would, thank you for letting me say that.
No, for sure. If people want to help you, what's the best thing they can do, you think?
Oh, I feel like I'm like lucky in the sense that so many people help us. So many people reach out to us and help us on this fight. So if someone wants to help us, just help magnify our voice, like speak up for these kids who don't have voices. You know, if you see something, if you are in the medical field too, especially because we live there, if you see something wrong, like hold your coworker accountable, or be like, hey, why can't we listen? Why can't we help? You know, I just think if anyone could help us, it would be speaking up.
Yeah. And then I guess if we had any advice for the medical side, just help us feel heard and seen. And we know you can't cure everything. Like, we get it, but like, don't like, yeah, we just want to be heard and seen.
Yep. That's
Yeah, I love that. Okay, movies.
3 movies. Okay, have you seen Never Been Kissed? Drew Barrymore.
I have not seen. You were ready, by the way, for these movies. Like,
Yeah.
you had, like, I like
Yeah.
that. I've never seen that one. I do like Drew. I've never seen that movie though.
I'm a movie girl. Like,
Okay.
yeah. So you
Never
should
Been
watch
Kissed. What is that, like a rom-com?
it. Yeah, it is.
Pretty funny.
Yeah, it was good back in the day. It's
Is it
like
rated R?
ooh, but probably yes, but back
That's
in the
good.
day,
That's
rated R.
good. That's even better. 'Cause it's hard to find a good comedy that's PG-13. Like, if it's not Dumb and Dumber,
Oh gosh.
how many good PG-13 comedies are there even? Anyway,
well-
good pick. Even though I've never seen it, I'm going to say it's a good pick. You have 2 more picks left.
Okay, have you seen Apocalypto?
I love Apocalypto.
Yes. It's so good, right?
Talk about brutal.
Yeah.
And then how about the end? The boat's just pulling up. Like, it's just begun, bud. Like, that wasn't even the heart. Like, that movie's great. When
That's
he's
a-
running and they're throwing spears,
Yeah.
and then he gets into the. I'm like, oh, I've never cheered for like a person in a movie harder in my life. I'm like, go man, go.
I
And then his wife pregnant in the hole, and then it's raining. I need to go watch that again.
You need to watch it again. But that
You need to watch it.
I
again.
do in the hospital. But that's crazy that you said though. Like the fight's just begun.
Yeah.
You're like, oh,
He did it. He got back, and oh shit.
yep. Dang it.
Like those were his own people. Like these are the
I know.
not good people.
No. Yep. That's a good one. And then, okay, like, come on, The Notebook.
Classic.
You
Notebook.
have to.
You have to.
You have. It's Fatu's favorite.
You and Fatu got some Notebook vibes going on in your relationship.
I say Apocalypto more so.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Yeah, The Notebook is a good one, but
Yeah. Probably when he's hanging from the Ferris wheel. And he's like, go out with me, or else I'm not. I'm hanging until you like that was.
that
pretty.
would be me. Actually,
I was thinking that'd be Fatu. Oh wait, that would be you because you asked him.
I'm the weirdo.
That
That's
you'd
like,
be hanging. Yeah.
I'd be, and he'd be like, "Sorry, girl.
Yeah. I built you a house and I wrote you 700 letters. Where the fuck you been, Fatu?
If anything, we need him back on to switch that. Yeah, you need to talk some sense into him. But yep,
Well, that was great. Loved our convo. And best of luck to you, your fam, and Rev. And remember, life's 10% what happens to you, and 90% how you respond to it.